Hi, I'm Mark Spooner. I'm from Hinterland Money Solutions. I'd like to talk to you about loans and interest today. They are some of the very sensitive issues of most people these days, and if anything, it's maybe to just give you a little bit of an idea how things work, may help you financially down the track, whatever the case may be. So today, I'm just going to talk about a typical loan, how it works. So we have a normal 5-year loan against a car or a personal loan, it doesn't really matter. But let's call it against a car or a boat, for example. So what happens in the early parts of the contract, in the first part of the contract is, and just have a look at the graph here, how it's going to work. The loan balance doesn't actually go down really much at all. So that means that in the first year, if you actually rang the financier after a year and asked them about getting a payout figure, you'll probably find that the payout figure is roughly the same as what you borrowed in the first place. So what that means is most of the early payment is actually made up of interest. So just be aware of that. And then the second year, you can just see how that graph actually slides down a little bit more. A little bit of less interest that you're actually paying a little bit more off the capital figure. And then third year, you can see that as it slides to the 4 and the 5 years. And that's how it actually goes down as far as that's concerned. So that's when you actually pay off your loan. So as you can see, the curve slides down a lot faster at the end part of the contract. So with the interest, that means that you pay the least amount of your interest at the back end of your contract. So this also means that around about halfway through the contract, you've actually paid more than half your interest. Did you know that your financier, if you were paying out your loan earlier at say the 2.5 to 3 year mark, only has to give you the unpaid interest back in their rebate figure. So is it worth really paying out the loan sooner? You've got to ask your question. The other side of the coin is that part of this graph also is we're going to draw the asset that you've actually purchased. As you can see, in the first year, it's going to depreciate pretty quick. And that's made up of GST, stamp duties, dealer profit, all those sorts of things are taken into account. And it becomes a used asset. So it's got to be worth less. So in the first year, as you can see, it drops down pretty smartly. Second year, it actually slows down a little bit. Third year, it slows down. And as you can see, they join up at around about the 3.5 year mark. This is a very, very good time for maybe you to consider trading your vehicle in, rolling it over, getting something else different. Have a look at your tax deduction with that. The ATO, they recognise depreciation, costs of borrowing and those sorts of things. So for example, you could be paying your car off at say $150 a week, somewhere around about that figure. And by the time the 3.5 year mark comes up, it's an excellent time perhaps to consider rolling that vehicle over, or whatever the case may be, into another vehicle. Kickstart your tax deduction again, because they'll recognise your depreciation and also the cost of borrowing as well in the early parts of the contract. So be aware, is it worth paying out your loan sooner? Or is it worth rolling your vehicle over a bit earlier, those sorts of things? See me about that and we'll discuss the situation. And remember, get your loan sooner with Spooner.